So, I just saw Black Adam, and I gotta say, I don't really get why people are dogging on this movie so hard. Is it a great movie? No. Is it an enjoyable one? I certainly had a good time. So, since I make videos for a living, I figured I'd take this opportunity to talk about the movie, including that end credit scene. Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, well, maybe you should go elsewhere because this video is going to be chock full of spoilers. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So yes, I am going to get into that end credit scene and all of the possibilities that might open up for DC movies moving forward. But before I do, I want to very lightly touch upon something that I found myself focusing on the entire length of the movie. And that is the geopolitical questions that the movie raises. Specifically, how superheroes would impact the world as a whole. Yes, I understand that this is something that only a massive geek like myself would care at all about. But just hear me out for a moment and we'll get to the exciting stuff in a second. The entire plot of Black Adam revolves around the strife within the fictional country of Kahndaq, a place that is currently being occupied by foreign forces. Until Teth Adam wakes up and starts cleaning house, extremely aggressively. Now this draws the attention of Amanda Waller, who dispatches the Justice Society to rein him in. When they arrive, they find that not only is Black Adam not someone to mess with, but the people of Kahndaq aren't exactly their biggest fans. As was pointed out to them, they were certainly quick to arrive when Black Adam was causing trouble, but they did nothing to help when the people of the country were being aggressively subjugated. Which is a fair point and definitely something to think about. Comic book movies are always quick to have their superheroes swing in and enact some form of justice whenever they see fit. And yet, these paragons of virtue never really seem to do anything to stop the real injustices that happen all the time. I mean, think about it. If you were living in a world with actual superheroes, you'd imagine there would be a lot less wars in the world, a lot less people suffering under the heel of someone else. That is, of course, until governments start using superheroes to fight wars, which is actually something that is brought up in this movie when Amon mentions the superhero military complex. And actually, you know what? DC has a story about what would happen if superheroes just went out and stopped all fighting and such amongst people. It's called Injustice, so, you know, maybe that's why they don't do that. Didn't exactly go super great for people. Led to Superman starting something called the Regime, which is just as evil as you would expect. Awesome games, though. Speaking of Superman, though, let's get to that mid-credit scene, since I know that that's what you're all here for anyways. Can't really say that I blame you. In the scene, in case you left the theater before it popped up, or you were skipping the movie entirely, in which case, why are you even watching this video? We see Black Adam get introduced via hologram to Amanda Waller, who tries her hardest to intimidate someone who is basically a god. Naturally, Teth Adam doesn't take too kindly to this, so he blows up her drone. As he does, a shape flies down from the sky. As the smoke clears, we see that it is indeed Superman, in all of his Henry Cavill glory, complete with a human upper lip, which is always a plus. Superman says to Adam that he can't remember the last time the planet got so nervous about a new superperson, and he tells him that they need to have a little chat. Now, for a while it's been pretty obvious that Dwayne Johnson wants to see Black Adam and Supes throw down. In fact, it's something that he's promised will happen in a future movie. And it's happened a handful of times in the comics, so there's definitely precedence for it. And this scene could just be a piece of setup for that eventual brawl. The odd thing here, though, is that while Superman and Black Adam might be fairly equal in power level on paper, a fight between the two would actually be fairly one-sided, due in large part to the fact that one of Superman's greatest weaknesses, besides glowing green space rocks, is magic. You know, the source of all of Black Adam's powers. So odds are, if they come to blows, he'll probably need some form of help, which is where I think DC's next big cinematic release comes in. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is slated for release in March of 2023, and could very well continue to set up Black Adam's future. Given the two characters' shared power source, Shazam and Black Adam are often pitted against each other, more often than Superman at least. So it would make sense to bring him in. Plus, in 2010 we got the animated movie Superman/Shazam, The Return of Black Adam, which saw Kal-El and Billy Batson team up to take on Black Adam. Maybe that movie could serve as the blueprint for the Man of Steel sequel that is supposedly in development at WB, giving us not only the long-awaited return of Cavill as the iconic superhero in his own solo movie, but also finally connecting the so far largely disconnected Shazam movies to the larger universe, which could also potentially lead to Shazam joining the Justice League proper for a future team-up movie if that ever actually happens. And the whole thing would definitely fit into Johnson's claims that Black Adam was the start of a new phase of storytelling within the DCEU. So having him serve as the catalyst tying characters together would be pretty cool to see. Or maybe Warner Brothers execs will find a new way to screw things up because they have a tendency to do that. Hey there everybody, I'm John Aljets. I made this video and I want to know what you think. Did you see Black Adam? What'd you think of the movie? Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, or go ahead and shoot me a response over on Twitter. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to ScreenRant for even more great videos just like this in the future.